and then Tracey can pop in. And what's up, everybody? So if you notice, I don't have my normal microphone. It's because I actually finally moved home. No longer at Wall.
Oh.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About Something Else.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Good to see you.
And I am currently eating some food and waiting on my mom to get back in from the goat barn.
We're going to get to meet Mom tonight?
You're going to get to meet Mom tonight, yeah.
Oh, how fun. Is she going to join the broadcast?
For those of you that are tuning in from the Mustard Man's page, because I just posted this on his page as well. If you're tuning in from there, she is going to be giving her her expert opinion on the Simply Horsey, because to me,
yum.
my opinion on it. Oh, it looks like Tracey's back, and we have.
Well, we have her chair.
Yeah, that is some great looking woodwork there, Tracey.
It should be some great looking woodwork.
I haven't been able to stop eating it like all day.
What, the mustard?
So you like the horseradish one?
So
I love horseradish.
I like the Simply Horsey and the pepper.
There we go.
But I want my mom to give her review on the Simply Horsey, because it's the closest thing that I've ever tasted to true horsitsu or horsitsa, right? If you're Polish, it's like that Slavic mustard.
Okay.
There's nothing that I found in the U.S. has that vinegary tang afterwards.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's my favorite one, and it's so good on sausage and ham.
Oh my God, yeah. And so since Tim has the ability to, kind of do his thing and titrate his recipes so that they're not quite, they don't live quite as long, but they're a lot more flavorful.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried any of his yet.
Oh my gosh, they're so good.
Definitely a thing. I after trying it today, and me and him were talking, right? Because I was planning on, doing some consulting with him and helping with some digital stuff. But he was like, you have to try it, because he was like, I don't work with people that don't like the mustard. And I was like, okay, that's fair.
That is fair. That is fair.
Well,
and,
you do like mustard, Jan.
I do like mustard. And we established that, right? One of my weird things.
Oh my gosh, we're dissolving into food right off the bat. We haven't even started talking about our questions yet, and we're already in the food section of our evening.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. Why don't we just talk? We can talk about our weeks like we normally do while we're waiting. It looks like my mom just.
We get to meet her mom tonight.
I know. I'm excited.
Putting some of the milk into the pail, and then she's going to come in. She's going to kill me, by the way, because she's coming in from the barn, and she's going to freak out being on a live stream because she's just coming into the barn. So just be prepared for that.
You didn't warn her?
I did not. No.
I see she's got something going on in the Instant Pot back there. What's going on back there?
So that was the actually one of the that Tim has on his little pamphlet cards that he gives out. When he gives those demos, he has the recipe cards. So that's actually pork chop with I think my dad switched out what the recipe recommended with the Simply Peppered as a rub. Mm-hmm. That's why there's so much of the bottle already missing.
Yeah, peppered is good, but the horsey's the best.
The horsey is the one I want to try.
The one, for everybody that's just tuning in, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About Something Else with Kathy and Tracey and Jan. We're waiting.
We can't not talk about food.
My mom to come in from the barn, so y'all will finally get to meet her. But we're going to do a little review of Tim the Mustard Man's Simply Horsey mustard, because I think that it's the closest flavor to a traditional Slovak mustard that I've ever had in the States. But I figured to give it that extra layer of authenticity, we would actually have the Slovak native give her personal opinion.
There we go.
And this is actually, this is putting it to the test, my friend. If you're watching this right now, this is the do or die. This is gonna. We'll see. But how was your week, Tracey? Did you have a good week?
Oh, excellent week. I've been planning shopping, so it's always a happy time.
Anybody venture out to try to get to a patio restaurant or anything like that? Or are we still kind of sheltering in place?
No, just haven't taken the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a brown bag lunch with a friend today. We just both brought stuff, but we actually sat within 6 feet of each other, and I got a real live hug today. So.
The outdoor patio, it's just too many rules right now.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, I know that my friend Carrie, who has the barrel room, she opened last weekend, and she said there were so many people saying, "Oh, you have too many people," and they were reporting people, and she
That's insane.
We did all the things, and people are still upset. So
people are going to be upset no matter what you do.
That's true. I sent out a couple of masks this week that my cousin made.
Oh, we've got liftoff, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah?
Yep.
Because of my tech difficulties tonight, I am on my iPad and I can't see comments. So Jan, you're going to have to monitor the comments.
Monitor the comments? All right, I can do that. I just started a watch party too. So
I started a watch party as well.
All I've got is a chat, which takes me out if I do chat. So
I don't know about this. All right, so I think we got like 8 or 10 people in here. And a couple of people in my watch party. We'll make a final announcement here. Right. To start off this week's live stream, we're going to do a taste test of the Simply Horsey from Tim the Mustard Man's Mustard that I just picked up today because he was so gracious to let me try.
He's such a nice guy.
Mustard. Oh, like when I say what's up, Glenn? Welcome to the party, my friend.
Hey, Glenn.
When I say that Tim is like one of the most like charismatic personalities I think I've ever met in my life, there's no joke. I mean, he makes you instantly just feel comfortable, feel right at home, like you're a part of the family, like you're at a tailgate about to eat some of the family recipe. That's what it felt like when he was having me try this mustard.
Well, it is his family recipe.
Right, and that's what makes it so cool. Which is why I think that this Simply Horsey is going to do the best.
And I love a textured mustard. I don't like smooth. I like texture in my condiments.
It's kind of smooth, but this is a mustard sauce that he makes.
Don't be shy.
Hey, Mom.
Are you guys ready? They've been wanting to do this forever.
We're so eager to meet you,
We're
Mom.
gonna pitch our adoption papers.
So this is Eva. Everybody meet my mother.
Nice to meet you.
So that one's Kathy, and then obviously that's Tracey down there in the bottom.
Hi, Kathy.
They're the ones
Hi,
that
Tracey.
I've been hanging out with every Tuesday.
We've been wanting to meet you so bad.
Kathy thinks that she's good at euchre. And wants to come over and have a.
Excuse me. You're dead in the water.
Yeah. So, well.
And he keeps stealing all my friends, Mom.
Yeah. You realize that they're just intricately interconnected, but they both want to come over and hang out with you.
Oh, you guys will have so much fun.
They've established that you're adopting them. And
okay.
No matter how old we are.
So, all right, guys. So if you're just tuning in, we have the resident expert here now with us. Okay. My mother, Eva Almasy, formerly Eva Michal. All right. So this is the Simply Horsey mustard from Tim the Mustard Man, right?
Is Tim with us tonight?
He may be creeping around in the comments. I haven't seen him pop into one of the watch parties or anything yet, but if not, I'll send him this clip afterwards. So all we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of this here. We're going to pop it off and put it on this plate back here.
Are they different kinds?
Yes, there's a bunch of different kinds.
Oh, okay.
This tonight, though, I'm just going to have you kind of focus on the Simply Horsey.
Okay.
Just because, so my bet is that this is the closest thing that I've tasted to horchitsu ever, right? Like, you know how we're constantly trying to find Dijon mustard here that reminds us of home? It's nowhere near any of that stuff because it has that vinegary flavor that Dietko likes so
Is
much.
it horseradish in it?
Yeah.
That's why it's.
Yep.
Okay.
So all I want you to do
Have you tried it?
It's my favorite.
Oh, really?
We have a couple of little pieces of pork chop in here that we made back in the Instapot there. So you're just going to take a couple of pieces of that pork chop. I just want you to close your eyes, dip it in there, and eat it and see if it takes you home. See if that's like some of the best.
Okay. He didn't want to let me have it when I had supper. I had to wait for this moment right now.
Nice. Jan, I'm going to come over and slap you.
Don't worry. As soon as the camera shuts off, the hands will be flying.
Oh, yeah. I'm back home.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I think like as soon as I tasted it, because all he had me do was put a pretzel on it. And as soon as I dipped it, I was like, parki. That's the first thing.
Oh, yeah. So now we have to get this special hot dogs called parki from Amish country. And we are set.
Ooh.
And so I
Ooh,
already
roast
my dad tried it earlier today.
mustard.
My dad and Sam tried it. They're already planning on driving down to Amish country and
Oh,
picking
yeah?
them up. So
Okay,
that
I
we
will
can
have a second bite just in case.
A little something for our euchre party.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
I
cool.
know how to play
nice.
euchre.
I like it.
Cool. All right, Tim. So
Watching
if you're watching this, your mustard passed the test. I'd like to go ahead and say hi in my watch party: Brian Zimmerman, Chris DeBar, Teresa, Paulie Kniss, Courtney, Samantha, Marissa, and Josh. Welcome to the watch party. If you guys want to run through yours and say hi to your crowds, I'll go get set up in my room and we can get this ball rolling.
Okay, I've got.
I cannot wait to see you guys. Everybody who is on, come on over whenever it's time allowed.
We would love to come and cook.
Yes, we will create something.
Yeah. Kathy makes some really good pierogi.
Ah,
Hey, I make kapushkaniki.
okay.
Not that anybody's ever heard of it, but it's the old country.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Oh, I cannot wait.
I can't wait to meet you in person. We've
Yeah, I can't
heard
wait.
so much about you.
We will
And
give you a
we like
tour.
your son. Okay, he's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
We
You
talk
probably
about you
did.
every week.
You
You
did
and his
so well
grandma.
with him, but we've had so much fun together.
That's good.
That's
Very
fun.
good.
No?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye
All
bye.
right. I'm going to take this into the room here. Oh, Melissa McLam. Hey, you know that name now, Kathy, right?
Yes.
Hello, hello. Why don't you explain a little bit
Melissa.
about how that came to fruition?
Pardon?
Why don't you explain a
Well,
little bit about how that relationship happened?
Well, okay. I'm a coach, a certified professional coach, and apparently Melissa saw Jan on TikTok, and you two started talking, but you said that maybe she needed to talk to me. So we did have a talk, and I won't go into the things we talked about, but it was very nice to get to know you, Melissa, and I hope we'll talk again soon. So,
And that is the power right there, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody makes fun of me for being on TikTok and doing stupid dances and mirrors, but it can be a legitimate acquisition
I'm
strategy.
about ready to get
Right.
a TikTok account just so I can watch that happen.
Me too.
It's definitely worth it. All right. I'm ready to go whenever you guys are. So
We're here. We've been
you
here.
ready to kick it off? Do you have the
Ready to
list of questions pulled up or should I pull it up?
I can do that. So tonight we're talking about things. I was doing some cleaning the other day and I started thinking about all these things that we have. And, I started thinking, the first question is, what is something that you have that makes you happy every time you look at it or use it or, whatever. And I actually have an answer to that. So when we get to me talking about some of my favorite things, I do have one thing that came right to my mind and it's really weird. So that is our first question tonight. What is something that you possess? And we're not talking kids and dogs and things like that. We're talking an inanimate object that every time you see it or use it, it just makes you happy.
Mine's a visual.
Oh, she's got the visual. I
Okay.
can go get mine. It's right over there. Go
You
ahead,
want to
Tracy.
get yours? You want to see
go
it?
you talk about your thing, and I'll go get my thing.
This is weird how you look at the camera.
Oh, that's cool.
It's my kitty cat Lennox brand kitty cat cookie jar. My husband got it for me for my birthday. Oh gosh, about 5 years ago. I don't put cookies in it.
No,
They never last that long, but it is so pretty, and I leave it sit out all year long.
cat treats. You put
Yeah,
cat treats in it.
no, because they would knock it over and break it.
Oh, vicious kitties.
Yeah, well, nope. This is
That's very cute.
Vicious kitties.
Hey, come on, they can be.
Oh, no, I know. They definitely can be.
Yes.
I fell asleep at my friend's house one time and her cat latched onto my big toe.
Oh,
While I was
I bet
sleeping.
you weren't asleep anymore.
No, I was not. And he was across the living room on accident. I mean, just the way my foot twitched, he flew.
My lynxy cat would do that. You had a foot sticking out, man, or is she?
Yeah. I was like, yeah, Catherine told me the next morning, she was like, oh, like you definitely need to make sure that you sleep with your toe covered. And I was like, yeah, I figured that out last night. Thanks for telling me before I fell asleep.
You got to understand that a lot of cats are drama queens too. He may have jumped and made it look like you threw him, just so
Right.
he could say, "Look what happened to me."
Does it have to? So, Kathy, does it have to be something that you like use, or just something that you possess that when you
Something
see it,
that
it
you
makes you
have that
happy?
makes you happy every
Something
time you
makes you
use it
happy.
or see it.
Okay.
I mean, so if you had
Something
a
you enjoy
whatever.
having.
Yes.
So I got. If that's the case, I definitely have a visual too.
Awesome.
So I'm like,
Pet rock? No.
this is one of those things where I'm a pet rock. Yeah.
It's his best friend.
We could get like a T-shirt made that has that. Let's talk about something else, and it's just a pet rock as our little logo. So I'm not like a hoarder by any means, right? But there's a very specific group of things that I generally keep onto. It's because, like, if you look at my Facebook today, I posted something so that a year from now I can look back on it, and I like to keep those types of items, right? So this box is a box of just like letters, a whole bunch of other things that I've gotten. It has all my military coins in it, but this is like every single. And I know Tina Kogan watches this show, so if she's watching this, Tina, this is something that you did. But when I was in basic training, a lot of people were sending me letters, or like when I was down in tech school and stationed in Mississippi and everything else like that, people were sending me letters and stuff. And Tina had her entire class write me little letters when I was stationed down in Boot. And so I got this package the one day. My drill instructor is like, "Almasy, are you sure you have this many people back home that love you?" I don't know, sir. I have to open it to figure it out. And I mean, it's like these little cards that she had her entire class
nice.
together, and it cracks me up because they all say "Dear Yanko" on them.
Yes.
Because that's what
I
I
love that when you and your aunt were talking, Yanko.
Yep. And so that's like how long Tina has known me. But inside of here, I have letters from my grandfather. I have the letter that my dad wrote me when I turned 18. I have just a whole bunch of different things in here that every time I read them and I look back on like the people that have been in my life that have decided to invest in me and take the time to really showcase how much they care and stuff like that, it just fills me with joy. So I always try to hold on to them.
That's wonderful. I call that, I have a group of those special letters, cards, and other things. I call it my smile file. So when I'm down in the dump or I feel, I need a nice lift, so I will pull out my smile file, and it like that it's letters and cards and notes and things. Some of them in there are even just I had a lot of kids at the Y when I worked there that would stop by my desk and talk to me, or whatever. And sometimes they'd come by and I wasn't at my desk, and I'd find a little post-it note on my screen, "Sorry I missed you," or "See you on Tuesday," or and I kept all those because those kids just meant the world to me, and I'm still in touch with a lot of them. So that smile file, that's going to lift you up whenever.
Right.
So that is a treasure.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I agree. I think that I'm going to have to steal that and adopt Smile File as my name for that.
Just things that make you happy.
Yeah.
It's nice to have those.
And it's easy that like there's so much stock in those inanimate objects, but they hold so much emotion and nostalgia.
There's one in particular I have on the side of my refrigerator that somebody had taken the time to write me. Really touched me.
Aww.
Just the little things we all do for people, and we don't realize that they make that big of a difference. So
is that like a cast iron frying pan?
Or is that to smack people with?
It's a cooking instrument that doubles as a weapon. Yes.
Yeah. That's how I know you and my mother would be friends.
And, if you throw it, it's actually a projectile. But this one is a very special one. I had to do a lot of research when I got this. I got this when we cleaned out my grandparents' home, and it belonged to my great-grandparents. I don't know which side, but my grandmother, Adamson, well, both my grandmothers were terrific cooks, and I think that a lot of my interest in cooking came from my grandparents. because I used to spend summers up at my grandparents' house, and I was never allowed to physically touch any of the food as a child, but I was allowed to perch myself in the kitchen and watch my grandmothers cook on either side. And this one, this frying pan, near as we can tell, came from, it's from the Griswold Iron Works in Pennsylvania from 1886.
Wow.
So this has been cooking family dinners for 4 generations now. And my kids have already decided who gets this when I die.
It's one of those items, huh?
I was told and it's going to be Christians apparently, because I have another piece that they want too, and I have 2 diamond rings from my grandparents, and I have 2 pieces of ironware, and they've already decided without consulting me. I'm like, well, you're going to be waiting for a long time for these suckers. But I literally use my fry pan every single day. This particular one, and it's my way of loving and nourishing my friends and family. And every single day I think of all the things that my mom and my grandparents and my great grandmother cooked in that thing. And you can burn an egg and it still slides out of this thing. So it's nonstick.
All of the lard and all of the everything that's been through that bad boy over the years.
Look how shiny it is.
Melted into the
beautifully
into the metal.
Yeah.
So on this whole, like, that older item, right, that's been passed through family generations, me and my dad crack up all the time, right? We've been through like 4 fridges or something like that in the last decade or something. And we have a refrigerator upstairs from, oh, he's gonna kill me if I get this wrong, like 1916 or 1918.
Oh my gosh.
Something like that, right? The only thing that we've ever replaced on this is the cord.
Oh my
And
gosh.
anytime our new fridge takes a dump and we have to wait to get a new one, he goes up into the garage, plugs it in, it still gets cold. We keep our food in there until we can get a new modern refrigerator, and then we let it go. So I've already put dibs on that thing, because I'm like, if my fridge takes a dump and I need to have a backup plan, I know that this fridge from 1916 is going to keep kicking butt. And all
basically, this thing lived through the Spanish flu and has now lived through COVID.
Hey, that's true.
That's a great piece of history.
Yeah. It blows my mind. And like that frying pan, it's just the whole concept of they don't make things like they used to. Well,
some truth to that.
Maybe there's some credence to that.
Yeah, they really don't. I bought a Maytag washer when I was in college, and it was already pretty old. And but it sort of came with my apartment, and then I bought it when I moved out because I liked it. And it lasted, oh gosh, a lot of more years. I think it was over 40 years old when it finally completely died. Wow. And we never had to replace anything, but I think Joe had to fix the pump once, but and then we bought a new one, and well, that didn't go well.
I have a set of authentic Maytags purchased 28 years ago, and they're still going strong.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, the new Maytags don't work the same way.
No.
Oh.
All right. Well, I don't have the questions pulled up, so I'm not going to be very useful as far as reading today. But
okay. Well, the second question is, let's see. I'm doing this from memory because I remember these questions. Let's see. What was your private? Okay. What is something that you know that you should throw away, but you just can't bring yourself to do that?
Throw away.
Or get rid of. It doesn't even mean it's just something you don't need, but you just can't bring yourself to get rid of it.
Who wants to go first?
I think
you can go, Tracy. Jan's looking around.
Harry Potter and upstairs.
You got to go backwards, Tracy. Bring them in. Bring it in. Thank you.
Harry Potter and Dobby.
So why do you have to get rid of them? Those make me smile just looking at them.
What am I going to do with them? I really have no place to set them. I don't have shelves for knick-knacky stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they were a gift, and they were just so cute. And I love Harry Potter. Anybody knows me knows how much I love Harry Potter. There we go. Yeah, I got them in frame.
They're cute though, and if they make you smile, you shouldn't have to get rid of them.
I mean, everybody loves Dobby.
Oh my gosh, Dobby was my favorite.
I agree. I was so excited when he finally got a sock.
Yeah, I was too.
I like it. No, Dobby did not intend to hurt, kill, only to maim.
Oh boy, Melissa says that she loves Bobby as well.
Hey, Melissa.
That's
oh, he's the best. I cried when he died. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I bet. So this is something I'm not sure if if I'm ever going to throw it away. It's kind of along the same lines as Tracey. Like, I just have no idea what I'm going to do with it. You guys should get a kick out of this. So when I graduated boot camp, we were walking around Texas, and there were these
That's a big place to walk around.
Yeah, well, San Antonio, the Riverwalk specifically.
I love San Antonio.
And so we were walking around, and there was this guy drawing caricatures, and this is what we got. I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Oh, I see it.
Oh,
that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
But he misspelled my last name too. Almasy. But
Almasy.
I'm still not really sure what I'm gonna do with it. I don't know if I'll frame it someday and put it up somewhere, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I know I'm probably never going to hang it up, and I have no idea where it's going to go. I just keep carrying it with me from place to place and putting it on a random bookshelf rolled up just like this, and it just sits there. But
maybe it could end up on a mustard label sometime.
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, we can come up with a Mihal family recipe, Tim, if you're watching this, huh?
Ooh.
Yeah, start putting other people's face on the mustard.
That we can
do. The mustard fan instead of the mustard man.
Yeah, exactly. Room for expansion. I like it.
Tim, we got your next line figured out.
Free of charge.
Oh my god!
And then we can have Kathy come up with recipes to use it, and then you can come up with the recipes to use the mustard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can have some fun with it. Who doesn't like to do that? So, what are you eating tonight? Your pork chops?
Yeah, I'm eating some pork chops and then some clean veggies, and then I don't have beer or anything because I'm actually starting after the quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'd been through quite a couple too many.
Oh, the COVID-19.
So I was like, yeah. Right, exactly, yeah. I was like, maybe it's time for a little bit of a cleanse. We'll just drink a gallon of water a day for like a week or so. Get rid of whatever stress I was putting on my liver and kidneys.
It's probably a good idea.
Right. So.
Well, I think we're all going to come out with the COVID-19 and not the disease, the virus, the extra 19 pounds or so that we've gained.
Right, exactly.
It's kind of like the freshman 15, only, more.
In a global pandemic. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you live next to family members and somebody's always baking, this just got sent over to me. It's a piece of
my goodness, that looks
freshly
good.
baked.
I'll tell you what, if you leave it on your front porch, I can make sure that it gets picked up and get rid of it.
I live closer.
Hey, I get to just go to my mom's house and pay her a compliment. She loves when people love her stuff. So
perfect. I'm good at loving things that moms cook.
Yes.
So.
No.
Me too.
All right, we got what's next up on the palette here.
I'm just thinking about what I should really get rid. I used to be a stamping demonstrator, and I had a craft business, and I had this. I still have some craft supplies, but I have a massive stamp collection, not like postage stamps, like rubber stamps, and I don't do that anymore, not like I used to, and I just really want to. I really should get rid of them and sell them or whatever, but every time I pull them out to start categorizing them to get rid of them, I'm like, oh, so pretty. I could make some things out of this. And then they go back.
And you did. You made a very beautiful card a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I do pretty cards. But I just haven't done that in a long time. So, yeah, I should probably get rid of all my craft supplies. But
Yeah, but can you
Yeah.
really?
See who dies with the most craft supplies wins. I
Hey,
want to win.
one of these days you're going to have grandchildren, and you're going to need them.
Maybe.
You
That's
never
a good call.
know.
I was a grandma for a brief time. It was fun. But someday again, maybe. Jan, get busy. Let's go.
He's too young. He's
You
way
put that
too
eagle on
young.
me, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah. So, okay, next question. All right, on the same lines. Like I said, I've been doing some cleaning when I came up with the questions. What is something that you got rid of that you wish you hadn't?
Ah.
I know my dad would say his 1960, I think 7 or 8 Firebird. He always talked about that car because he'll constantly like pull up these emails and send them to me and be like, "Look how much this car is worth. I shouldn't have gotten rid of it in the 70s." I'm like, "Dude, let it go. Like it happened. It's too late now." But which is always the wrong answer. Most of the time, I'm just like, "Oh man, yeah, we totally should have kept that." You know, I was not even a glimmer in your eye at that point, but I'll weigh my opinion on it at this point.
Yeah. Well, is there anything? I mean, it sounds like you live kind of lean. I mean, you've been in the military and you've moved around quite a bit. Once you settle in, things don't go away as fast as they used to.
No, they don't.
It's like, yeah, I still got room. We'll just keep it here.
Trying to think.
How about our audience? Is anyone talking?
No, I get lots of highs of people who have joined.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm getting a bunch of people waving and stuff like that, but we'll see.
Nobody's talking, huh?
Nobody's engaging tonight.
Okay.
It's all right. People are shy. Let's see here. I wonder if I have. I'm gonna go into my closet real quick and look, and see if there's anything that like sparks my like memory as far as like, oh, I used to have this, but now I don't. I'm trying to think of something that's like I encountered a situation. You know how you always encounter something and you like know exactly where that tool is, but then when you actually need it, it turns out that you got rid of it like 2 years prior. Like those situations that are popping into my head right now.
Oh, that's
remember a specific one.
We never get rid of tools of any kind. Matter of fact, we accumulate.
Yeah. Well, there's so many times that
some cool things.
I just get tired of having something. Like I just threw away a lot of fabric. I used to do a lot of sewing, and every so often I do that. I just purge out all my fabric. I'm not going to sew ever again. Blah, let's get rid of it. And then, oh my gosh, something like the mask project comes up.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh geez, yeah.
All that fabric would have been fabulous for that.
Yeah.
But oh well.
You know,
I don't have a lot.
I'd have to probably say my electric guitar.
Your what?
My electric guitar. My electric guitar is something that I wish I wouldn't have gotten rid of.
Yeah.
Because like I didn't realize until it actually really hit me pretty hard during COVID. Like I didn't realize how much of a therapy that was for me. Just sitting jamming and playing, because like my family is very musical. I mean, my little brother is he's got more musical talent in his pinky than I do in my entire body. Like he can pick up whatever instrument he wants and just learn it. It's disgusting. And like obviously I sing, my little sister played clarinet, but we like feel the music. I mean, we have that whole empathetic conversation that we had. Like when I am playing, I can transport somewhere else and actually shut my brain off for a little while, which is super nice.
I can do that listening.
Yeah, and I totally forgot about like how nice it was to just be able to sit, plug it in, change the tones, and I can, play anything from Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, all the way to like James Taylor and Cat Stevens, and just relax and sing and not care who's listening type of thing. And that's something that actually I noticed during COVID, especially like when I had the little bit of downtime that I did over the last 6 weeks, was just, man, I really wish that I would have brought my guitar, or I still had that electric guitar up here.
Oh, I've heard of a lot of people, picking up instruments again and practicing again. And that's one thing at the very beginning of the shutdown. And I know we don't really talk about the shutdown let's talk about something else. But one of the very first things was all of my singing group practices were shut down. And I realized just how much I looked forward to singing in the choir or singing with a symphony. And and I when they announced that the rest of the season had been canceled with the Canton Symphony Chorus, I literally cried in my car after we walked out.
Oh yeah, I bet.
I just, oh my gosh, I miss it. And I miss my people. And now our choir director is moving on, Jen D's husband. And we don't get to say goodbye. So, but we'll find a way. I can't say too much because Jen could listen. She might not be here tonight.
Right.
Just know we're talking about y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, Canton Symphony is doing something, I think, almost every week because the Angie Hayes Project.
Oh yeah, they're doing all kinds of things, but they're not really involving the chorus. Yeah. We're about 80 to 90 strong and doing anything with us, and we're all volunteers. We're not on the payroll.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, they're doing some cool stuff, but we were in high rehearsal for our spring concert show. And it's usually so beautiful. We actually sang a Slavic song in the fall. In Slavic. Yeah, my tongue was in a big knot.
Yeah, as it is for people that don't speak it on a regular basis.
Well, I was asking Father Marian what different phrases meant because, Britt was trying to get us to pronounce things correctly. And I'm like, we're singing them so damn fast, you'll never know if we're saying it right or not.
Right.
And so I'm like, what does that mean? And I asked him what word meant. Jabonki, something like that, Zabonki or whatever. And it was at the end of a phrase. And he just started laughing. And
I probably accidentally cussed or something.
Yeah, it was a piece from The Reluctant Bride, and it was all sung in Slavic.
That's awesome.
And so yeah, we sang in 4 different languages at that concert, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm singing about, but it's pretty fun.
It's amazing to me, like how you can pick up those languages. I'd like to give a huge shout out. So Jen Roth was my boss. I guess technically still is my boss because I'm still casual at Altman. But she has been like a huge proponent of this and has been super supportive of this entire journey. Like worked with my crazy schedule when I was trying to do nursing full time and this full time, and like when nobody else really believed that this was ever actually going to turn into anything, she saw the same vision that I did. So the fact that she popped in right now, I want to make sure that I gave her a shout out if she's listening.
Oh, absolutely.
This is like these types of conversations and this type of outreach and stuff definitely would not have been possible if she hadn't supported me at my full-time gig. So, and then on the Slavic side, if you see Father Marian, walk up to him and just say like T-A and then like Y-A-K is how you pronounce it. Tayak. Okay, because Father Marian is Tayak, exactly. And you kind of give him like a little head nod, like a what's up. So what that is like he's from Bratislava. Jen said, thank you. You're welcome, Jen. Seriously. Like I can't stress enough how much I owe you as far as the support that you gave me throughout that entire process. But so he's from Bratislava. Bratislava is the capital of Slovakia. So they're very proper there, right? My family's from the boondocks. So like
farmers, huh?
Yeah, we're farmers. They call us like the village people, right? Or the mountain people. And so like
I just had a whole image, but
I
work for the Y. I can't help myself.
I walked right into that one. I did. What was I gonna say? Holy crap! Hold on, ADHD.
Okay, we were talking about Tayak.
Oh yeah. Okay, so what that means, it's basically a greeting, like a what's up or how you're doing, right? But like in Bratislava, they would say ako samash or something more formal, right? But like in the village, you don't have to waste all those words. You're just like Tayak, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you were to do that to him, he would instantly be like, where did you learn that? How did you figure that out?
Well, he talks so often about being a little homesick and how difficult it is coming to America and getting used to our culture and our language and everything. And it was during Easter, and I could feel from him that he missed his family and is in celebrating with his family for Easter. So I sat there all through choir practice with my Google Translate, and tried to learn to say Happy Easter in Slovak.
Oh.
Just that. I mean, every time we took a break, I'm listening to it. And I went up to him after church, and I said, "Hello, Father," and then I said the phrase. I can't remember it now, and I must have butchered the crap out of it because he looked at me really funny, and then he goes, "Happy Easter to you too." I think. Hey, I tried.
I can picture his face too, like looking at you like, good try.
With his charming accent, he always comes out and he goes, "Good morning," and all I think is,
She make it sound like Count Dracula.
Yeah.
He is such a charming.
Him and my mom are two peas in
him, but every Sunday he's on Good Morning.
Yeah, he comes down to our farm and walks his dogs and stuff all the time, and him and my mom will reminisce and help each other not be so homesick.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So whenever he comes over, we all speak Slovak. I'm sure he does.
We're just gonna have a good old-fashioned Slovak farm party when this all is over.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're gonna bust out pierogi, halushki. We'll have some slivo, and then we'll play some music. We can listen to like traditional Slovak music, and then some like Frankie Yankovic, and we'll play out like some American.
Did you say Weird Al Yankovic?
No, Frankie. No, everybody always assumes when I say Yankovic or Yankovic.
No, I know he plays
right?
polka.
Yeah, and so like I'll say that, but like people my age will be like, "Oh yeah, Weird Al." I'm like, "No, Frank, his dad, like the OG, the polka guy, right?"
Yeah.
You have no idea who that is, and then I play polka, and they're like, "Turn that off," and I'm like, "Okay, we can't be friends anymore." Like,
my wedding, I had a live polka band, and
I polka my.
Oh my God, yes!
What?
Like 6-piece live polka band. Well, my husband's Polish; his family's Polish, and
my dad.
Is when people were just starting to get DJs, and my friend says, "Hey, I know this guy. He's on Polka Varieties all the time, which used to come out of Cleveland."
Mm-hmm.
And
Saturday
so
morning,
we actually booked this guy, and there's some funny stories. I mean, he came and he asked me what songs I wanted to hear, and the only song that I really wanted to hear, and it was for our bridal dance, he didn't know. And he didn't inform me of that until we were getting ready to walk out. He says, "We're just going to play this other song." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I hate that song." And every picture in my wedding pictures of that dance, I'm going, because I'm like bitching. I'm like bitching at my husband. "I can't believe they're playing this song. I hate it." And then, but he played polkas, and I danced with every one of my husband's uncles and cousins. I mean, I was exhausted after my wedding.
Oh yeah, no, Slovak wedding is no.
Sit down and he'd start up a new one, and one of the uncles would grab me, and I was back out there again.
Yeah, one of the things that I know, like our family does to try to keep up some of the old traditions and stuff, is we'll do the apron dance. Where like basically the premise is like the husband stands to the side and has to watch all of the men of the family kind of cycle through and dance with his new bride, and they put like donations to the wedding inside of like her apron. She kind of holds her apron out, and they're together, and they're putting money into the apron, and at the very end, it's the husband's job to act all pissy and go out and take his wife back and like let everybody know this is not anybody, this is mine, like we are together.
Oh my gosh, well that explains a lot at my wedding. I did not wear an apron, but I had almost $400 down the front of my wedding dress.
Well, that would explain a lot.
I'm like, why are these guys stuffing money down my dress? It was a beautiful low-cut dress, and we get back to the house, and I was sweaty and hot because I'd been polkaing for 4 hours.
Right.
And I took off my wedding dress, and Joe's like, "Wow, that's a lot of money. How much is there?" And I'm like, "This is mine. I earned this."
Yeah, this was.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. There's another one that's like where you're standing at the entrance to the doorway to like the reception hall that you're going into, right? And they'll let everybody come in and everything like that, but then they give you this plate and this glass, right? And take it and you're husband and wife now, and then what ends up happening is someone takes it from you and smashes it on the floor, right? And then everybody comes through the front entrance of the reception hall and is kicking all the pieces everywhere, right? And then your wife gets a broom and you get a dustpan and you have to pick up the pieces. And it's meant to symbolize that, like, regardless of what anybody comes into your life or everybody that's trying to kick different pieces around, that it's up to you two now to work together to pick up the pieces. And so, like, there's all these beautiful, like, intricate traditions and stuff like that, that, you know, when you guys get invited to my wedding someday, they will be there and it will be happening. Because
it probably happened the first time. I just noticed my friend Becky joined the watch party, and this is probably going to become a tradition with our friends, but similar to dropping the plate on the ground. It probably happened by accident the first time, and then somebody made some comment about it. But, you know, last year Becky had a bunch of us over for her birthday, and one of our friends makes the most wonderful cakes from scratch. And she made this beautiful birthday cake for her. And we brought the cake out and I handed it to Becky for her to blow out her candles, and it just tumbled out of her hands. I mean, this gorgeous cake in the grass, but we sort of scooped it up the part that wasn't in the ground, you know, because it kind of went down kind of straight. It was a mess. But I'm walking around with this handful of cake, and people are like, I'm like, this is the most delicious cake ever. So everyone's taking parts that didn't have grass in it, and we're all sharing it. And we're like, now we have to do this. She just waved. She'll remember. I'm like, now we have to have the drop cake at every birthday party, but we're not going to have one of Ruby's fabulous cakes. We'll just get a dummy drop cake, and then we'll have Ruby's cake undropped.
That's cool. I love those, like, little traditions.
In 100 years, my friends are going to say, well, I don't know. My grandmother always had this drop cake at her birthday.
Yeah, and everyone's gonna look at them like they're crazy. Why don't we make that our bonus question? We still got like 15 minutes here. Why don't we just talk about like a family tradition or something that we have?
Well,
that
we've been doing it.
Like, because I feel like Tracey should weigh in. We could get like some other stuff that's like a cool family tradition that you have that either relates back to like the culture that you come from or something else. Because I have other ones in mind outside of weddings.
Oh yeah, weddings are just full of
intricate
tradition.
stuff. Yeah. Tracey's looking like, yeah.
On my dad's side, it's the Kapushkaniki. Nobody, I don't care what person from the whole Slavic region you talk to, in all the little countries, nobody's ever heard of it.
Right.
So
I'm curious for you to come over and
make it,
because I have a feeling, like I first mentioned it, is that like I have a feeling that like I know that what it is. It's just called something different in our region of Slovakia.
Yeah, and that's very true. In the different regions, different things were talked about. But on my mom's side, we're mostly Scotch-Irish. I don't know what traditions they're known for, except having fun on St. Patrick's Day.
They don't do it the same way as we do here in America.
No.
Yeah. I'm a Heinz 57. I mean, I can identify with German, Swedish, and Norwegian as the primaries, but I have a lot of things going on in here.
Is that called a Heinz 57?
That's what
that's what my
American mutt. Okay.
That's my husband is too.
Gotcha.
I'm an American mutt. And I actually got Christian in trouble in 3rd grade. He came home and he says, Mom, my teacher says we have to tell him where we're from. And I said, well, you're from Canton, Ohio. And he says, no, we have to say where our family's from. I'm like, honey, we have so many lines going every which way. My husband's family is pretty straight up Polish. And our fun traditions go into the Polish since I've been married. But, you know, poor Christian, I'm like, you pick one. And the next day he goes, my teacher called me a smart ass. I told him to tell her that he was American, because I'm like, you were born in Canton, Ohio.
Right.
And he comes home and he said, well, she said I was a smart ass. Well, I'm like, and then the phone call. Why are you calling my 3rd grade son a smart ass?
Yeah, that's why I told my mom, I was like, she needs to be careful when she has this master's degree now. She's going to teach. And I was like, you can't say the same things you used to say it to us at home. I was like, these are other people's children now. So, no chucking frying pans at children in public.
No, I have
I
to
don't
say,
know if
when I
that's
worked
such
at
a
the
bad
Y, I
thing
had to clean up
sometimes.
my vocabulary considerably. I can talk like a lady. Watch me.
Use nice
Oh,
words.
you have the I'm the one that can't keep my mouth shut in board meetings, not you. You can keep your straight face.
I'm a mom. I can do that.
Yeah, I've got the. I still have a little bit of the 24-year-old jackwagon left
Well,
over.
it takes time. It's when your kids are doing something that you think is flippin' hilarious, but you can't let them know that you're really laughing very hard at what they're doing because it's not really good.
Yeah.
But you're killing me, man.
Yeah, they're like your forehead vein is pulsing because you're like trying to hold back the laughter.
Or you want to kill them, and probably both at the same time. It's like, okay, that's freaking hilarious. It's wrong on every level, but I have to be calm and give you the mom face.
Yeah. That was.
So it's just a lifetime of cultivation. Mm-hmm.
I'd have to say, if outside of weddings and stuff like that, probably one of the traditions that we get looked at, like, I don't want to say we get looked at the most sideways for, but we're like, people, it takes some explaining to people, is that every Monday after, are people commenting and I'm just not seeing it? I keep seeing comments pop up and I feel like I'm accidentally ignoring people somehow. One of the things after Easter is there's the Monday and the Tuesday following Easter Sunday, right?
Right.
On the Monday following Easter Sunday, what happens in like these little Slovak villages is the men go around and they sprinkle water. What's supposed to happen is you're supposed to sprinkle water on the women of the village and say a prayer with them, right? And then everybody's supposed to come together and you're like blessing them with water. You say a prayer together and then you take a shot of what their home brew is, right? Or their home distill. And you literally, like, people will get together in hordes and just go house to house to house. And
That's a great tradition.
Right? What it turns into is water guns, buckets, like
I figured it would go there.
It is relentless. I mean, it's like all out warfare. And people are like, that's so misogynistic, yada, yada, yada. Like, how would you ever do that? You're chasing like women around the village and dumping buckets of water on them and stuff like that. I legitimately saw this post on Facebook probably like 2 years ago. And I had to like prevent myself from freaking out and arguing with them. Because what the article that she quoted didn't say is that the next day roles are reversed. So you only dish out what you're willing to take the next day, because the following day, I mean, it was to the point where like I'm still asleep at 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm getting ambushed because I was such a dick the day before that I'm getting ice bucket on me in my bed.
Rule of women. Don't ever, anything you do to a woman is going to come back to you a lot.
Tenfold,
I'm sure you've seen the where you hand a woman a potato and she will give you a meal. She'll, increase whatever you give her. Well, you give her shit and yeah. You know what you're getting back.
I can see where this would get out of hand.
Huh?
I can see where this would get out of hand.
Yes.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, is that afterwards, like, it is very, like, it can be intense. And, like, as you're a kid, like, you're, going around with super soakers and whatever else. But the thing that I akin it to is almost like watching, like, if you watch a UFC fight, how they shake hands and they almost always are, like, giving each other a hug and respect afterwards. It always ends with a family prayer and then taking a shot and, like, blessing each other and wishing each other good health for the rest of the year. And so I always think that it's something that's like intricate, and I wish that there were more things like that here. It's just, it's not. And I think it's because everybody's so far apart. People live so far apart. It's not these really close, tight-knit communities that have, that the grandparents that are alive still remember when currency wasn't even a thing after World War II. And they bartered. Yep, they had to barter to stay alive. And that culture and that mentality, that closeness, just it's hard to replace.
Well, nowadays you're afraid to do anything because you don't know who's going to get upset about something or what. But, you know, if you see me and I dump a bucket of water on your head, just know it's my way of saying I love you.
I don't do well wet.
Oh, man.
You know, the traditions that stick in my head don't necessarily come from gathering with family back at a time, because my mom was one of 10 brothers and sisters.
Oh, wow.
You know, playing wiffle ball and everybody playing, or the taffy pulls grandma would have. One week going to be all the girl grandkids, next week going to be all the boy grandkids. Or at my house, we had 70 apple trees, and so the boys would come stay and they would have apple fights.
I used to do that at my grandma's.
Yeah.
Not a family tradition, but like I said, I stayed with my grandma, and her house was built on an old apple orchard. And every day it was my brother and me. She'd roust our butts out of bed, and we had to go up and pick up the apples.
Yep.
All the little
cider
rotten apples. And it got to where we were throwing them at each other.
Yep.
And the only bad thing about that is, you know, a lot of times we both have our baskets all full that we had picked up, and it took forever to get those suckers. And then my brother would like throw one at me, and then next thing you know, we had to pick them all up again.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That's the stuff I remember.
yeah.
Apple fights and stuff like that can lead to some serious bruises and stuff.
Oh my God,
I mean,
yes.
those are vicious.
My brother had no mercy. No mercy. Eric, if you're watching, I have never forgotten.
That's why like middle sisters and like younger sisters are such tough SOBs. Like my sister is an I talk about her all the time, right? She's an international consultant with a firm in New York, and she is a baller. I mean, just
the
like,
oldest of 5. I've got it all right here.
oh geez. They're climbing up the ranking totem pole and trying to take you down from the throne.
Ain't happening. Yeah, my sister's not on here to argue with me tonight, so I'm the queen.
Oh man. All right. Well, what do we have? Do we have any? What are questions for next week? Do we have those right now, or we want to wait and announce those later?
No, I don't have them. They will occur to me.
Cool.
And
that's the beautiful thing, guys. Like literally, Kathy, you'll just text me. She knows at like sometime between today and what in the world is that? The Keeper?
It's the Keeper elf.
What the hell?
It's one of those things you can't get rid of.
Is it another cookie jar? What is it?
It is a cookie jar. There we go.
Do you have any more cool cookie jars? I feel like you've got like.
I have a chick that's coming out of an Easter egg.
What?
I know, Nicole. And
That's cool.
Just thought everybody had.
I didn't realize there were so many cool cookie jars.
Well, we'll come up with a subject for next week. One thing I do want to ask you, I'll ask you off air, so we'll talk about that later. So anything else from our friends who might be watching tonight? And any final thoughts? I don't see any comments from other than they're there. And thank you for joining us. Let me just do a quick shout out to Kay and Rich Hanna, Becky Bors, Pam Bernard, Judy Costanzi, and Lenny Shell. Nice to see you tonight. And Elaine Rialfi.
Hey, let me hit my people too.
Okay.
I had Lisa, Kathy, Rachel, Donna. I had Erica, Cindy, Connie, Elaine, Nicole. All lovely people.
Oh, Jan, did you have another Amazon card for a winner nurse?
Well, I had an Amazon card if people were going to comment and post pictures of items that hadn't at their house, but everyone was lame and didn't participate, so it looks like I just get to keep.
Next week, we'll have a participation award, and we'll come up with some good participation questions.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah, how about that's something that we can evolve. We'll have like our 3 questions, and then we'll have some participation questions along the way.
Yeah.
I think
we'll
that's
just
a good
sit here
idea.
and silently stare at you until you answer.
Or actually, here, I'll throw this out on the line. So we can have up to 6 people into this live stream, right? I see that there's 8 people right now just on this live stream, and there's probably generally there's somewhere between 15 and 20 scattered throughout our different watch parties and everything. So if you're watching this right now, I'll extend this invitation. If you know Tracey or Kathy or myself, shoot me a message. If you want to come hang out with us next week and be some of our participation people, the caveat is you're not going to know what the questions are until we ask them. So you got to be willing to get on the spot, right? We'll have our 3 questions, but our participation questions, they'll be kind of related to the topic, but you won't know what they are, right? So if you're interested in that, I will make a $10 Amazon gift card available to anybody that wants to come hang out with us next week. And we can have up to 6 people. So that means the first 3 people that reach out, I'll pick one, Kathy can pick one, and Tracey can pick one. And we'll have a group of 6 next week.
Nice.
How's that sound?
A lot of fun.
All right. I hope to see you all when we get together and talk about something else.
Sounds good to me. All right. Till next time, everybody. This has been another rendition. And keep chasing that apex. Tracey, I hope you have a good week. Kathy, I can't wait to see you
The
again.
connections.
Always a pleasure.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.